Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blizzard Watch podcast. I'm Matt. I'm hosting. With me this week are my fantastic constellation of hosts and guest hosts. First up, Orion the Hunter, played by Cory. Hi, Cory.
I have a belt.
Yes, you do. And a lot of people seem to not know that about you, which is really weird. Like I've recently been discussing constellations with people. Next up, she practically runs the site because she runs the site. That is literally her job. She's the editor-in-chief. I mean, come on, guys. It's Liz Harper. Hi, Liz.
Oh,
You run the site. I mean, that's what happens.
That's pretty much true.
Finally, we force him to edit us, so he has to hear our voices again after this, and it's I feel bad now. Hi, Joe.
No.
Joe Perez.
Hi, I've been here the whole time.
All right, Sam.
I feel like the worst part of editing podcasts, or I go through the podcast and I do clips and things for promo. The worst part is not hearing other people's voices. It is always hearing your own voice.
Yeah, listen,
Joe's got a radio voice.
No, I hate my own voice. Like, we can get into the show in a second.
They're excellent. My voice is bad. Your voice is great.
But it's one of those things where, like, I have
Both
been
of your
recording.
voices are amazing.
I've been recording music. I have been performing music. I've been reporting podcasts for literal decades. I still hate the sound of my own voice. It'll never change.
I suspect this is the same for pretty much everyone. But yes.
I was
never.
a DJ in the 1990s, and my God, my voice. I could not stand it then. It's even worse now, but at least it was bad then too.
You know what's not bad though? We got a bunch of news to talk about. We could talk about that and have a good time. Let's do that.
Nope, let's not. We're gonna keep talking about
news.
Let's talk about World of Warcraft. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Gamescom was at this point. Gamescom was like what, 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
And yet we're still talking about it because so much stuff happened around it and in it and all that. So first up, we've got a fireside chat that was done by Mr. GM. It's got Ian Hazakostas, and this was posted recently, or I mean.
It was posted this week. I mean, that's part of the weird thing about Gamescom is that information has come out extremely slowly. So we've got this video that has a fair amount of new information, and it's just out this week. And also, last week I was complaining about the audio of some of the videos that Blizzard posted. This is so much worse.
And this is just one that Mr. GM did. This isn't one that Blizzard did.
Also, can we take a moment to point out how they advertise Mr. GM, but not any of the people Mr. GM was going to talk to, like on all the
when they advertised this at Gamescom, they said fireside chat with Mr. GM, not. And I think Mr. GM is great. He does great video content, but they said fireside chat with Mr. GM, not fireside chat with Ian Hazakostas.
Yeah, like no shade to Mr. GM, but one of those is a larger selling point.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. GM's going to be on a interview on his channel, with his name on it. It's like it's not a surprise that it'd be like the Blizzard Watch channel with Blizzard Watch staff. Yeah, we should be there. It's
hope.
us. But I mean, what gets me about this isn't even the sound quality, although yeah, it is pretty bad. But it's also the way it's just. Does everybody have to sit like that? Why do people sit like that? This is not important. Let's talk about things that are actually important.
I do want to say about the video, you can tell that the video was recorded by a camera sitting in front of the stage that definitely did not have access to the audio feed from the microphone.
No, absolutely not. It sounds like they are from the bottom of a cave. You are absolutely right.
Yes. It is extremely echoey. There is a ton of background noise. You hear people shouting and cheering from around the hall. And it is frankly very, very difficult to listen to. I listened to it and several times trying to pick out what they were saying. And Mr. GM suggested that Blizzard actually recorded the interview as well, but he does not have that video, and Blizzard has not posted it themselves. Taliesin from Taliesin and Evatel also suggested they did a fireside chat, which was on the schedule. And again, it said fireside chat with Taliesin and Evatel, not fireside chat with whoever they were talking to. That has also not been posted, and Taliesin suggested that Blizzard recorded it and has not released the footage. So I I don't know if that's true. That's what I heard from him. Mr. GM suggested the same thing, that Blizzard has footage of these events that it did not release. And it's a pattern of that very confusing news rollout for Midnight. But there were some interesting things here. I don't know how interesting all of them were. I just took notes and put down anything that I had not heard before.
Okay, do you want to cover them, or do you want me to talk about them?
Oh, I can go through them. Delves, a couple things that 2 of the new delves, we don't know which ones, are actually outdoor instances, so you'll be able to mount up, which Ian said would be have some interesting opportunities to explore and kind of change that. That's sort of interesting. Old delves will remain in the game, just like old dungeons remain in the game, and you can go back to them for achievements or as you're leveling, which may be good for those Bran enjoyers in the audience. You know, you can still go and, I assume, hang out with Bran. About cross-faction grouping, I was hoping to hear that maybe they would loosen some restrictions on cross-faction grouping, because while it is very great, it also has some weird limitations, and he said nothing to announce. The philosophy about cross-faction grouping and not forcing it on anyone remains the same. So at least we got what we got. What we got is pretty good, though I am still frustrated when I am standing with my friends outside a dungeon or a raid, and I cannot use a portal because it was created by someone of the opposite faction. Even though if we went inside, we can do stuff together. So yeah, it could be better. This is where it is. Gear. The current gear rank system and upgrade system is going to stay the same. You know, where you have tiers of gear like champion and heroic and mythic. But they admit it is pretty complicated, which I think may be a little bit of an understatement. The different tiers of gear, a little confusing, particularly if you aren't super plugged in and messing with gear all the time. And the team has been questioning whether a currency like Valor Stones is necessary when you already have to collect crests. And I have certainly felt the frustration of, okay, I have plenty of crests, but I spent all my Valor Stones already, so... And of course, both currencies are limited. You have a max
until they remove the caps. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and you have a max on the number of crests you can get, and a max on the number of Valor Stones you can get, so you can only have so many of each at the same time, and you will always run out of Valor Stones before you run out of other stuff. And you have to do different kinds of activities to get these things, so you can be forced into, maybe you like doing outdoor world content. That is very low on crest drops. There are some ways you can get them, but it's lower than if you were doing raids. And if you're doing raids don't really give you any Valor Stones, so you're always forced into content that may not be your thing. I think it would be very nice if there was just a single currency, and we didn't have to deal with 2 currencies to do all of our upgrading.
Can I make a suggestion here?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's get crazy and suggest that possibly World of Warcraft has enough currencies, and we should just have none. And if you want to have a gear upgrade system, they used to do a thing where people would drop loot that was better than the loot you currently had, and you just take that. So I'm going to suggest we consider bringing that back.
Listen, I don't mind the upgrade system as a system. I understand that. You've made that perfectly clear. I don't mind it. I do, however, I take umbrage with the currency amounts that we get, because it feels like you're Sisyphus, right? Like you like Liz pointed out, you get X number of a week or X number at a season until they remove the cap, and you can't do anymore. And man, it feels like, I understand it's developed in a way that you're supposed to be able to get where you need to go with it, but it still feels bad. And like, yeah, having different gear drop at different levels and different upgrade numbers depending on what content you do and at what difficulty you do the content, it's a lot to keep track of. It's just become overcomplicated on how many drops you get. So if they could simplify that and simplify currency, I'd be happy.
So didn't have anything to announce about that, but it did really seem like they're thinking about maybe dialing it down to one currency or simplifying the system in some way, which I think is great. There's a lot of stuff going on in World of Warcraft. So
even if they didn't keep introducing new currency systems every patch, that would be a good thing, because at least you wouldn't have to go, okay, we're gonna have a patch in 2 weeks, and I need to get enough currency to buy this thing at this level before I will then get a green in the new content, and then start doing that. And it just, I don't know. I feel very anxious about gearing in WoW right now.
They could just go back to Valor points. I mean,
they did basically.
Each time I think we've escaped Valor points forever, they bring something back. It's
even called Valor Stones, man.
But you need the stones, and you need the crests, and you need the enchanting materials, and that keeps enchanting viable, etc., etc. I get all the desires and the urges behind the way they've built that. It just simplify, man. Simplify.
We'll see what happens. You were talking about professions. So as professions are going forward, the general structure of them is going to be carried forward. So don't expect the complicated talent trees to be going anywhere. But I'm going to quote here from Ian Hezekiah himself. He said, "The amount of complexity in professions is probably averaging higher than we want it to be," which is a very long number of words to say it's a little complicated as well. They're trying to work to differentiate professions more from one another. Like, blacksmithing, you're making something that people may use this entire season of content. And alchemy, you're making something that is consumable, and that those professions shouldn't necessarily feel the same. And they're also trying to make them more approachable, because it can be extremely overwhelming when you go in and, wow, there are so many talents, there are so many points. Where do you start? What do you do? It can be, professions are a lot right now. But he did mention that this also allows for players with that fantasy of, like, they want to be a great blacksmith. They want to be the greatest blacksmith. They can go in and do that and play this kind of game, even if maybe not everyone wants to play that kind of game. But it's there for people who want it. We did note that professions are going to be able to make decor of different kinds, and some of that decor will use a new resource called lumber.
By new, you mean we're going back to Warcraft.
Work.
Zug,
yeah,
zug.
So it does sound like we may be chopping down some trees. No further details on that at all.
Just imagine, as you said, we may be chopping down some trees. It's like, cut to, Teldrassil. Like,
no. There's
so
not
much lumber
really
just sitting there.
It was a very large tree. I mean, maybe, probably not. We're all trying to not think about that. And some new details on housing. Not a ton, but a few details, which in 11.2.7, we will be getting early access to housing if you have pre-ordered Midnight. Housing is an expansion feature. You will not get access to it unless you own a Midnight. So 11.2.7, we will have limited functionality of housing. Basically, you can get your house set up and you can get started with housing, but like, all of the content won't be there. There won't be, like, your neighborhood activities, your endeavors won't be started. That's going to happen when the expansion actually launches in 2026. So it is, as they said, early access. We will be able to collect stuff for our houses and start decorating our houses. And I think it's a pretty great, like, end of season, end of expansion activity. This is going to be a lot of stuff we can do. We can go out and check out old content or do things or get achievements or all of these things that might give us decor for our houses. But you can't do
the
everything.
throne from Blackrock Depths. Or the one from the chamber with Nefarian when you first fight him, that big chair he sits in. Just cut to that in your tiny little, Sylvan Glen. Just boom, big throne. You're just sitting on it, going, "Oh, portal fools! You have finally entered my land. This is our house, man." Oh yeah, sorry, the chair, man.
Listen. When you go and kill Nefarian, and you're like, "I'm just here for the chair. If you get out of my way and let me take the chair, it'd be fine." And he's got to go through his whole monologue. It's like, oh my god, I just want the chair, dude.
Arthas, I understand that you think it's your chair, but I want it. Get off the chair.
The other thing is, even if you do not do anything, even if you were like a brand new account that has never done any content before, has never gotten any of the achievements or done any of the things that would give you new stuff, you will have several dozen pieces of base decor that you can use to decorate your house. So you will not be like a completely empty house with nothing just because you haven't done a lot of in-game activities. I expect those of us here have probably done a fair amount of in-game activities, which are going to award decor, and I am certainly planning on doing so many more when I can. In patch 11.2.7.
I'm going to see if much of the stuff drops in the Sunwell, man. I am going to farm the heck out of that place. The Sunwell is just plain pretty. I mean, come on.
It is.
You don't want to have any of this furniture? Look at the stained glass everywhere. Come on. I am totally going to try to set up my place to look like Blood Elves made it. Because, man, what's the option? Orcish? I mean, Orcish stuff is all spiky and metal.
It wasn't in this interview, but we heard at Gamescom that one thing, the decor options will not be race locked or faction locked. So if you're Alliance and you want to have like a Blood Elf styled house or use some of that decor, you can. There's not going to be a limit that says, oh, you can't do this because you're a gnome, because I'm a gnome, and that would be really sad. So
you're gonna read this next bit about the house and who owns it.
So, yes, your house is owned by your entire warband. And I should clarify that. I said your house as if it was one house. You can have 2 houses, maximum. So that's crazy. No one could imagine owning 2 houses. That's just madness. But in this video game, you can own two houses.
I mean, to be fair, in this video game, if you don't have any money, you can go out and kill a few like frog monsters, and boom, you've got money.
That's true. It's a fantasy world for sure. So you will be able to have an Alliance house and a Horde house, but your house is owned by your warband. So if you have an Alliance character, you can still go into your Horde house. Your Horde characters can go into your Alliance house. It is not restricted in that way.
I am parking my Tauren in my Alliance house as soon as I can. This is the imagination of someone comes to visit my Night Elf warrior, walks in, and there's a Tauren just sitting on the couch, staring at a crystal ball, going, "How does he get this thing to work? It's just a ball. It's just sitting there." Because I'm not kidding here. This isn't me being sarcastic. This isn't me being dismissive. I think this is perfect. Because I love the idea that our war bands are basically, our characters all know each other. Mm-hmm. Like if we have a character, that character is part of a weird Dark Sun-esque character tree. Look it up, it's wild. And your character, I love the idea that my Tauren actually does know my Night Elf. Like that they've met, perhaps fighting. Maybe they got into a fight at some point. I have certainly PvP'd against many Tauren. And I've PvP'd as a Tauren, which is where I learned my deep, deep hatred for gnomes. Because they could just get in under everything, and I didn't know they were there until they killed me.
It's true. It's true. But
yeah, I love this. This is a great idea.
I just want to point out, in exchange for being tiny, sometimes we have to swim through puddles that you would walk through. So
sometimes you die in the black morass. I remember because I was tanking it on my gnome.
And it's like, oh no,
tank on that. Yikes, that was terrible.
Black morass they fixed. I'm pretty sure, but not.
They fixed it, but it's still
places. Yeah.
It just for doesn't kill you anymore.
Well, the water doesn't kill you. Other things still capable of killing you. So, yes, I still have some questions about this. Like, what if it's guild housing. We know there are going to be guild-specific neighborhoods. What if you have an ungilded character? Can they go into the guild neighborhood and hang out at your house? I don't know. Still have some questions, but I agree with you, Matt. This is really cool. This is just your house is your house, and you can enjoy it on any of your characters whenever you want.
I still do think it's going to be like that. It's going to be kind of funny. It was like, your neighbors in your horde neighborhood are like all looking, and giant Draenei comes walking out in a bathrobe, kind of like Leonard Nimoy in the Ugly Song there. And just looking at him like, what is he doing? He's like, hello, my friends, Athenon Poros. And you're like, this is awkward.
The other thing is, guild neighborhoods are cross-faction. So, you can be, if you're in a guild, you can be in a neighborhood that is Horde living right next door to Alliance. It's just a completely messed up, mixed up world. You're all buddies. You're all living in the same neighborhood. The guild leader will choose whether it is an Alliance-themed neighborhood or a Horde-themed neighborhood. It does not sound like it can be both, even though I kind of wish you could do, this area is Horde, this area is Alliance, because I think some of the Horde areas are actually really beautiful, and I suspect that my guild will be having an Alliance neighborhood, unless I can find some kind of suitable bribe.
I don't know. I mean, half of our guild is Horde.
But the guild leader, what do you think?
Knowing who it is, we have it's a 50-50 shot, depending on what his main is at the time.
Well, anyway, it's this is another thing where it doesn't matter what you're playing so much as who you're playing with, and it's your house is your house, your friends are your friends, and you can hang out with them in your neighborhood. I think that is super, super great. And we also know that while neighborhoods are usually limited to 50 houses, which you can have a public neighborhood, you can have a private neighborhood, or you can have a guild neighborhood. Guild neighborhoods will expand with additional instances to allow for houses for everyone in the guild. So, even though everyone can only have one house in the neighborhood. So, I think that is great. I am very pleased with this. And we got a tiny granule of news about the alpha, which Ian Hazacosta said will be in about a month. We will have alpha news. He'd mentioned the alpha was coming up, but he had not narrowed it down quite this much in previous comments. So, I think all this is great. I'm very happy. Do y'all have opinions on how housing is shaping up here?
You will not hear from me for weeks. People are going to have to come and find me. You are going to have to remind me to do things like eat or what day of the week it is, because I'm going to be knee deep in this housing. I cannot wait. You have no idea.
Yes, I am.
I'm a little surprised, honestly, that they didn't go with 3 neighborhood options to have like one Horde, one Alliance, and then one neutral ground like Dalaran kind of thing. Just thinking about it like right now.
It does sound like they plan to build on the system and add more kinds of houses and decor and maybe neighborhood types. But
is it too soon to point out that maybe they didn't have one Dalaran style option because Dalaran is really a lot of smoldering rubble?
Listen, all I'm going to say is that Dalaran pieces right now are at a premium, and they're all over for us to go pick up. As a matter of fact, we have several quests that make us do this. This is a perfect opportunity. Let me decorate in memory of Dalaran. Make it happen.
I don't mind you decorating there. I just don't think they're going to give you Dalaran as a place to put your house. Considering that means your house is currently on the bottom of the ocean.
I'm confident that one of the gemstones that fell off of Dalaran has a pocket dimension in it. We know that they did this. It's fine.
We could be rebuilding Dalaran. That would be cool. And I have listened to the past couple of weeks of Lore Watch, which talk about how great it was that we just moved Dalaran all over the place. Right into the middle of danger, even though it was a civilian city. So, maybe not.
I feel like on Azeroth, the idea of safe for civilians is kind of like sketchy anyway.
No,
you're just a farmer, and meanwhile,
here's safe for civilians. I'm in a cave in the middle of nowhere and even this is sketchy, but it's better than being in a major city.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I mean, I keep thinking back to that whole deal in Cataclysm where the closest farmland areas to Stormwind were either infested with murlocs or had been ripped apart, and big floating rocks were everywhere, and criminals had infiltrated every rank of government, to overthrow it. I'm just saying.
I will take dealing with criminals and or murlocs as opposed to waking up in the morning and realizing that I have been teleported across the world into an active war zone.
And everyone's still happy that they just don't live in Sanctuary because,
we don't.
It could be worse. It could be worse. Though Sanctuary does sometimes creep into the game in weird ways. Yes, we do. We do not live there. Whew.
So, are we going to talk about the trading post here, or?
I do think yes, we got to talk about the trading post, but let's. As hard as it is, I want to try to not explain everything in the trading post because that's.
I just want to talk about how it looks weird to see.
Yeah.
Like the image they shot for this, here's what you're going to get. One of the pictures is basically a big old orc and a night elf wearing the ceremonial armor of the Bronzebeard clan. And I'm sitting here going, did nobody think to find a dwarf or even an earthen to wear this?
I was going to say, we have dwarves on both sides now.
Showing off. And they're showing off how cool this looks on everyone. You don't have to be a dwarf to wear this. But you will look awesome.
Except it doesn't, because the hats look dumb on people with big old heads. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it now, and I mean, I play a female night elf warrior. That's my main. I'm going to get this set. I'm going to get both of them. As soon as this show is over, I'm going to log on and go buy both of them, because I have the tender. I have so much tender. But I'm not going to ever wear that helmet on anybody.
That's my feeling about a lot of helmets.
Yeah, I was just thinking that a lot of the helmets in like the recent years have been kind of like non-starters.
And it's really hard to go up when you already have the best helmet in the game, which is the Naga head from Antorus.
See, I like helmets that completely cover my face and head so that you can't see it at all. I am totally down with that. Any helmet where it's just my normal character face, except my haircut's gone, and I have stuff floating above it. No, I'm sorry. No, either completely show my face because the hair is the best part, or show my scar because I have a really cool face scar that I don't think most other playable races get big face scars. Like I've not actually looked. I have my face scar.
They get the eyesight stuff. I don't know about the. I don't know about scars. I haven't dug that deep.
Half the face is burned off on my character. I don't know if they do that for other people. But I mean, this is a great looking set, and I know, Liz, you don't want to talk about everything, so I'm going to stop myself. But I do think these. I want to ask you.
I want to ask you a question. You said this is Bronzebeard clan armor. When I saw this, it's got, red glowing crystals sticking out of it. There's a silver version with kind of clear crystals. That made me think it's more of an earthen set. What do you guys think?
It's Magni's armor. So if you go back to Magni before he became Crystal Man, that's the armor that he was wearing, just less crystals on the shoulders, right? And then
they have
look at the armor.
The cape on the one side is the cape he used to have.
And then when he became...
They crystalled it up.
Yeah, well, and then when he became Crystal, if you go back and look at the character model, the white character model, it's this armor specifically.
Okay, cool. I think this is really cool.
I do too.
Really
it's also worth pointing out that the chest plate on this armor is the plate set from Ulduar for Warriors chest plate.
Which is what he wore, yeah.
Yep, that's just what he wore. So it's also a nod back to Ulduar.
It's very cool. Another thing that I thought was very neat, I don't know if anyone will agree with me, there's an ensemble of rainy day attire, which is just a little red raincoat, and I kind of love it. It's dumb, but I kind of love it. I'm gonna go around the table and ask, did anyone see anything in particular they love this month? Joe.
Honestly, I have not gotten to take a look at this yet. Surprisingly, I've been too in shock at what my I can't even call it the disappointment box this week. What it gave me that I completely forgot that it was a new month. So until looking at this, I completely forgot we had a new transmogs traders post to go through.
Yeah,
Cory.
It looks nice. It's not the cool undead stuff that we just got, but it's fine. The raincoat's cute. I like getting more griffins. Griffins are great. But the undead stuff.
I do think the griffins are pretty cool. They have like a layer of feathers that are like glowing. So I have already bought myself a griffin because it miraculously matched my current transmog, which is orange and blue. I'm rocking the orange right now. It's great. Matt, do you have anything that you love other than these dwarf sets?
Well, it's a dwarf thing regardless, but it's not a set. It's the Giganto dwarf hammer.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Bronzebeard's Ancient Crusher. It is exactly what it says it is. It is a big freaking hammer made entirely out of rock. It's got like a nice gold trim on it and a big thing on it that says it's a Bronzebeard thing. But it is. There's something I love about the tendency sometimes in WoW to like they make a lot of these really super elaborate things and like they have a lot of spinny parts and a lot of like just looking at it going, wow, what is that thing? And then every so often they just come back and it's like it's a rock on a stick or it's just a stick with another stick shoved through it. And I like that about like, especially for big old hammers in WoW. This is like a really nice encapsulation of that old style of big old hammer that we used to get. Like the one I remember the one in Blackrock Depths, not Blackrock Depths, Upper Blackrock Spire. There was the Amok. I think, Amok used to drop that really big, cool hammer. And this thing doesn't look anything like it, but it does look like the kind of thing a dwarf would pick up if an ogre was coming at him with a hammer like that. He'd be like, oh, you think that's a hammer? This is a hammer, sort of thing. It just, I love this thing. I am going to get it. So yeah, I really got on it. I also do want to say that I do think, except for the hats, that this plate armor looks really good. It's nicely balanced on its shoulders. They're unique looking. So they don't, like this, the asymmetry is actually very nice. There's that little bit of a rounded bit to the pauldron that kind of goes around the head to a degree, which is really eye-catching, and it's red and gold or blue and whitish. The red and gold one in particular can be really hard to find stuff to balance with. So it's nice to see that a whole set of red and gold stuff, which will now give you more options to balance with. Unless, of course, all the other gold stuff is a slightly different shade. And then you will spend the rest of your life desperately trying to find anything that's even remotely the same color so you can match it up. But still, I am excited.
That happens so often that it has to be intentional.
I'm convinced. I am convinced that I think I must have like stolen someone's lamp in a previous life or something.
You made a monkey paw wish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there is actually some other transmog stuff that was data mined for patch 11.2.5. We don't always talk about this stuff before it's available, but it is so weird. I felt like it needed to be mentioned.
Yeah,
it's a little corny.
But it's also a little spicy.
Very corny.
You're gonna understand new methods of pain, my friend, with these bread daggers. It's a French joke.
That was so amazing.
Boo.
Anyway, yes, there is. If you've ever wanted to live the fantasy of a rogue dual wielding baguettes, your time is soon to come.
Whoever designed this was playing Expedition 33.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I mean, especially the carrot things.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a baguette dagger. There is a ribs axe made of a rack of ribs. Because why not? There's a pot lid shield and back piece, a chili pepper mace and offhand, a carrot mace, which is literally a bunch of carrots that I assume you smack people with.
If you've ever been hit by a bunch of carrots, you understand how painful that is.
I have never been hit by a bunch of carrots before, but carrots.
Do you guys know what a potato gun is?
Yes.
They can also shoot turnips and carrots and very other things.
Yes.
We had a garden, and yes, I have launched carrots at things.
There's a stew pot offhand, which is actually really, really cute.
There's a chili pepper one too.
Yeah, a corn mace and offhand. A food fanatic shield, which has, its emblem on the front is a knife and fork.
It looks like it's supposed to be some kind of table too, doesn't it? Like the way, if you look at it straight from the top in this picture, it looks like it's like a table. It's kind of neat.
And
the fork and spoon.
Fork and spoon pole arms.
And the fork one really does look like a fork. I mean, it's not your usual pole arm device. The offhand part of it, I don't know, but
it's coming in 11.25. I think one thing that kind of works for this stuff in particular is that when the new transmog system comes, we will be able to set outfits for different occasions. So like when you start cooking, you could give yourself an outfit where you're holding a stew pot offhand and a bunch of carrots as a main hand. You could, totally go all out on theming. Or if you just want to wield a thing of carrots in your hand and hit things with it all the time, that's also, it's up to you. You can do it.
And who doesn't?
And we still can't tame the bunny people, can we? Or play them.
No.
Imagine playing as the bunny people from Pandaria with a bunch of carrots in your hand. I mean, come on. Especially since they also have kind of the turnip-y looking carrots here, which would be even better for those guys.
So, so that's a thing that's coming soon.
Also, aren't they doing they're doing like the villagers transmog stuff, which is just various plain sets of, looking like you're a villager. So you could just, you could be a good wife or whatever if they want to. So that could be your, I'm just wearing this at my house outfit. Yeah. You can do that now too, right?
Yes, you will be. You'll be able to set transmog sets by location, by profession, by activity. If you're in a dungeon or you're in a raid or you're doing PvP, you could set a different set that will automatically activate when you are in that location or start to do any of these things. So yeah, I feel like some of these kind of oddball sets kind of play into that really well. You could have a casual set that you wear at home. You could get those pajamas off of the trading posts in the past couple months, and that's what you put on when you go into your house. I think that's pretty great.
I agree.
Oh, Jinx, one of us owes the other a Coke.
Well, I can't say I disagree because that would be silly.
But you're very good at being silly, Cory.
It's true. It's a calling.
Now, and speaking of silly Cory, Heroes of the Storm. No, I'm kidding.
Wouldn't that have been amazing?
Yeah, it would have been amazing. I sometimes feel bad I can't say it to you because I know that it would make you happy, and it's nice to finally be able to make people happy in the world as crazy as this one. Instead, we'll make people happy with Hearthstone.
Well,
there was one thing I wanted to talk to Cory about. Cory wrote a post this week about wanting some new Druid forms.
Yeah, I'm a single issue voter on Midnight now.
Yeah.
There is only one thing I want out of Midnight, and Blizzard can give it to me. It wouldn't be that hard, I'm sure. In some of the ancillary media that came out around Gamescom, there was blink and you miss it moments out of the new Trials of Nalarak dungeon, the Yamani dungeon. Nalarak is, of course, the bear Loa of the Yamani people, and as a person who plays a bear druid a lot of the time, boy, do I want to be able to look like Nalarak, because he's a cool big bear with giant troll armor and tusks, and who doesn't want that? Which just,
Cory, you want me to make you feel weird here?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with Nalarak, but it does have something to do with the new race that's coming in that has druids as a playable class.
I know that they get pangolin, and then I'm not saying anything bad about pangolin. It's
yes, but there's also a thing about them transforming into a giant flying bat.
Flying bats are cool.
They get a bat form.
I already have bat forms.
I was gonna say we have that already.
For druids. Yeah.
This one does not look like them. Go look it up, man. The thing is wild looking.
The Heronir have some. I don't think we've seen all of their forms, but they have some cool forms. I mean, we've seen Heronir NPCs transform into their bat form, and it looks neat.
Yeah, I'm all for it. My end goal is that anything that shows up, a druid can turn into it. Animal wise, because that's what we should be doing. It doesn't seem like too much to ask for in my mind, anyways.
And it feels like with all this bounty of transmog we are all getting, druids should get some cool things too. You should be able to wear some cool armor on top of your bear,
Yes, imagine that. Why don't we do that? If Winnie the Pooh can wear a red shirt for like 100 years, why can't you have clothes on your bear form? I can put a vest on my cat. I talked about it in the pre-show.
They've already got the interface for it. Just use the dragon riding one. Where you can customize your dragons or your delve gliders. Just do that with bears and cats.
The weird crown in the dwarf set and the trading post this month. You could put that on a bear head. It would look pretty cool. That's just my opinion.
My God! Wait a minute. We could get them unicycles. Well, this has to happen now. I can't live if living is without a bear or the unicycle who isn't being, forced to do it.
But yes, Hearthstone. That's
Hearthstone.
I just keep making me talk about things, huh? So
you don't have to. It just felt like you wanted to, and I like to let people do things they want to do.
A new Hearthstone mini set was announced and was released between this podcast and the last podcast. It was not announced the last time we recorded this podcast, so a very short window of knowledge there. Kind of your standard. They've really standardized what they do on these mini sets, which is you get a certain number of cards. It's guaranteed that you get these cards, which is what I really like about them. And a new keyword called Ancient Masks, which are spells that that give cards the stats and effects of different classic cards. So it's kind of a little nostalgia thing. Like there's one called Devil Sore Mask, which is an 8-mana hunter spell, which sets a minion stats to 8/8 and gives it charge, which is exactly like King Crush, the Hearthstone card. So I don't know if they're great. I mean, you've got to play a minion and then you have to play an 8-mana spell. This is just one example. So it's interesting. It's very flavorful. It fits in with this Ungoro theme with lots of... we've got... Anyway. It's a solid expansion. It's costs $15 in real money or $2,000 in-game gold, which in-game gold is great because it is a non-cash currency. It is a currency you can earn by playing. So this is actually some Hearthstone cards that are very easy to get, and that's what I like about it. So available.
I just wanted to say something else, but you're still going, so sorry.
I was just going to say it's available now, so you can jump in game and grab it if you want it.
Okay, speaking of grab it, there's a rabbit. See, I needed to make that segue. I need to complain for a second. I'm sorry. I try to keep positive, but Darkmoon Fair's got another gatcha promotion coming.
If
you don't remember the last one. Yeah, in Hearthstone.
We should clarify this is in Hearthstone. This is not the WoW Darkmoon Fair.
No, not the WoW Darkmoon Fair. Instead of a little baby dinosaur, was it like Baby Crush or something? I forget what its name was.
Yeah. So
I hated it so much that they made it into a gotcha thing that I ripped it out of my heart and threw it away into the void.
They They added pets to the game a month or so ago, and they are so cute and so expensive.
Yes, now we've got ourselves. I'm not kidding. This is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbitath, which is, I guess, a rabbit Xalatath.
It is the most adorable baby bunny.
Yes.
With big cartoon eyes. It is purple. It is the most perfect baby bunny. Yeah, I mean, unless you aren't into the whole void thing, then maybe you would be concerned about this baby bunny. But it's so adorable. How could it be evil? But it does follow the same gatcha mechanic as
I hope desperately that this thing has a voice. I want it to have actual voice lines, and I want the voice actor to still be Claudia Christian. Like just sounding, that sinister glide of a voice. And the bunny doesn't wear shoes, obviously, because it's a bunny, but we still look at its feet all the time. It's constantly floating there with its little bunny feet down, and you just see those. But I'm very mad that they keep doing gotchas.
Well, apparently the last one was successful enough that they are doing another one. It is basically, there are a range of prizes, and they are pretty neat prizes. There are some bartenders for Battlegrounds, one for Xalatath, one for Illyria, which look really cool, and I am actually really interested in, because I play a lot of Battlegrounds. But the problem is, it's a spin to win. You spin, and it'll go through all the prizes, and it'll land on one, and that's what you get. And each attempt will cost a little bit more, and And the pet is extremely low drop chance, and because you will get every reward by the end, you are very likely to only get this rabbit at the very end, and getting to the end will cost you about $160.
This is where I would do a spit take if I had any water left in my container.
I think it's 158 if you. So it's not. I was rounding up a tiny bit, so it's a little tiny bit less bad. But yes, this is the exact same way the baby dinosaur was. And it's just, I'm very unenthusiastic, because it's like, oh, baby rabbit, this is so cute. This would be so cool to have on my Hearthstone screen while I'm playing. But man, it's not going to bring me $160 worth of joy.
I'm really curious how well the first.
I could get the complete. I could get the. Oh, sorry, Joe was talking. Go, Joe.
No, I'm really curious how well the first one did that they decided to do it again, or if this was already locked and loaded and ready to go, and they just are committed to like doing this no matter what. Because I didn't hear a lot of people going in on it, and I didn't hear a lot of positive things about the last one. So I don't know.
I mean, the last one, the first spin is free. So the last one, I went in, I did the first spin. I did not get the adorable baby dinosaur, and I was like, no, I'm not going to get caught into this trap, because once you pay for one, you're going to want to pay for two, and then you're going to be paying $160 to get the pet. And
that was pretty much my reaction as well. I mean, I literally, like I said, I reached into my heart and ripped it out and threw it into the void, because there's no way, because I know me. I'd be like, oh, well, it's the second roll. It's just going to be some money. And then, I'm 10 rolls down, and I've got like everything but the thing I wanted. And I'm like, come on. I got to sell some organs. Come on. Daddy needs a new dinosaur.
Based on the drop rates and the extraordinarily low drop rate for the pet, you are very unlikely to get it before the last couple of rolls. So I find it really disappointing. It's kind of sapped my interest for the game as a whole, because it's...
you mean unfair monetization practices take you out of the game that you would enjoy otherwise and make you spend even less money on it, potentially? No, say it ain't so.
I'm blowing the Diablo Immortal horn?
Yes, except Diablo Immortal does not sell you adorable, painfully adorable pets.
Yet.
They just sell you currency that you need to advance in the game.
I mean, I will also say this: that $160 USD or 158 USD, that's like enough to get midnight pre-orders, like absolute top tier, the epic tier or whatever it's called. That's enough to get that, and then you'd have enough money left over to like go buy some other video game, a much cheaper one, obviously, but you still have like $50 left. That's insane.
You know what I would rather take some of that money and go buy? The game called WrestleQuest.
Is it an actual game, or are you just?
No, it's an actual game in which you play as little toys going on a wrestling adventure in a fantastic little RPG and type game. It's all of $10 on like platforms. I'll get more enjoyment out of that than gambling on Hearthstone at this point.
I can't remember the name of it anymore, but there's a Dark Souls alike where you play as a crab.
Another Crab's Treasure.
Thank you.
Another Crab's Treasure. That's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very good. It is. I actually played it. It is the only Souls-like I've ever enjoyed playing. It is because it is completely berserk. You are playing as a tiny crab.
That is a better use of your money than spending $160 on a gatcha game that is designed to make you just pump money into it for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, I like the rabbit.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you want people to spend money on your game, there are two things you need to do. One, make it enjoyable to play. Seems like a simple concept, but this seems to be very far out of reach for a lot of people that develop games these days. And number two, if you want to sell cosmetics, just sell the cosmetics. Stop selling loot boxes. Stop selling gotchas. Stop selling gambling rolls. If I wanted to gamble, I'd go to Vegas, or I'd go to Atlantic City, or I'd go to Niagara Falls.
I'd eat an Orange Julius or something.
Yeah. Or I would take my life in my own hands and eat it, or Orange Julius. But like, this can't be healthy for the game and the community to do stuff like this. Why not just sell the pet at a premium? Like, again, what would you pay for this pet, like, out of pocket? Like, what would be your I'm willing to shell this out because this thing is so stinking cute?
At least 25, and I'd probably go up to 50 if I had to.
Liz?
50 is high.
Yeah, this would
25.
I'd say 40 on the outside.
Yeah, and we've seen that works it's worked for World of Warcraft.
You know what it would do to push people to the 50 price mark? Say, and half the money goes to charity.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You could do
people be like, it's good to do it. I also feel morally good as I satiate my lust for small, cute pets. That's just
if they just sold this, it would feel less bad. If they just sold this, I would not be put off by it at all, even if it had a really high price tag. And it is a very cool thing. It is an animated pet that responds to things you do. You can customize it, and it just hangs out on the board as you play. It responds to you. It is really neat. It doesn't give you any gameplay power, but it's a cool interactive thing. A little adorable pet that's just hanging out with you while you play Constructed, while you play Battlegrounds, while you play Arenas. And it's just neat. It is super neat. It is worth some amount of money, just maybe not $160.
Listen, for $160, I can go buy a Sega Dreamcast in good working order and a copy of the year 2000 hit classic Seaman complete in box. And I can have...
That one's a little weird, man.
I can have an interactive pet voiced by Leonard Nimoy. I know which one I'll spend $160 on.
Okay, to get away from that mental image, I'm going to turn to Liz and say, hey, Liz, can you do that thing you do for the site so that we can then cover another couple things?
The fact that it's called Rabbitath just kills me. That part absolutely kills me. So I want to tell all of you glorious listeners that Blizzard Watch is made possible by you. Yes, that is you sitting at home listening to us right now. Your support on Patreon helps keep the site running, helps us thrive and grow. At least that's the goal. Some weeks are better than others on the thriving point, but we try. An attempt is made every week to thrive. I want to thank new supporter John, who came in at $5 a month. That gives you early access to podcasts and an ads-free site experience. We also got Jonathan at $3, and that will give you just early access to the podcast, ads-free. You'll get them about a day, sometimes 2 earlier than everyone else. And no advertisements. So if you love our podcast, jumping in at $3 really helps us keep going. So, and if you can't support us, I totally understand. Just being here listening really helps. If you can, share our content with your friends, share it on social media. That also really helps us. If you're on a platform where you can like things, that also really helps us out. So if you aren't following us on social media, you can. We are Blizzard Watch on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, Facebook, and Mastodon at gamepad.club. We are blizzardwatch.com on Blue Sky and Blizzard Watch Podcasts on YouTube, where you can find all of my gloriously strange shorts that I have cut out of these podcasts painstakingly. I do all of this for you and for me, because I think it helps the podcast for you to be able to hear these little things. So, thank you all, and I really appreciate everyone who has pitched in to support us on Patreon. That keeps us going. Our support on Patreon right now is a little lower than we'd like. We're trying to bring it up by around $500. That would kind of help us keep it our happy place to keep the site going. We're doing okay, though, but if you were able to pitch in, please do. And if you can't pitch in, I get it, and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Liz. Going to try and jump into some of these because they are pretty important and we don't have a lot of time left. The Communications Workers of America has gotten about 450 of the Diablo, the entire franchise's devs to unionize.
I do want to say that the Diablo union, they do not say it is a wall-to-wall union. So it sounds like this is not everyone working on Diablo, but it is 450 people, which is a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
I just want to read this one thing said by one of the people who has, signed up. I just had it, and then I moved away from it, and so it jumped up. Here we go. Nav Body, Team 3 senior software engineer, and in the organizing committee member. He says, my entire career as a developer has seen my peers and I pay the passion tax for working in an industry that we love. It's like, yeah, I mean, that right there, that is to me pretty much central to this whole deal. An industry that makes billions every year and can't pay people enough to live in the area where the game is being made and won't let them be mobile or work from home. You force them to live in the incredibly overpriced area that you don't pay enough for them to live in. This is great news. I'm really glad to hear it. I would like it better if it was a wall-to-wall union, but you take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, any union is good. Microsoft has officially recognized the union. I will note that officially recognizing the union is not going to solve all of the problems, and we do see a lot of companies with unions drag their feet on making contracts and deals with the unions. Mm-hmm. So this is an early step. This is not the last step. They still have to work out a deal with Microsoft for protections for their workers. I want to call out another thing in this article, another quote from one of the organizing committee members, Ryan Littleton. He said, "The day after the third round of mass layoffs, I walked into the office. When I tried to open the door to the cafeteria, my badge was denied. For a moment, I wondered if getting breakfast was how I'd find out that I was part of this round. While luckily it was just a technical issue, none of us should have to live with that constant worry that we might be let go at the drop of a hat. A union allows us to organize across the industry to make great games and protect the developers who create them from the constant pressures of layoffs, passion tax, and crunch." So that really sums it up. Making games should not be miserable or punishing to those people who make games. That does not make better games.
Nope, gotta agree with that one. I'm going to have to mention really fast, this is an Overwatch one. Summer Games 2025 is now live, and it's going to go until September 15th. It's the 2nd, I believe, as we're recording this, so a couple weeks. And it's going to have Lucio Ball this year.
We love Lucio Ball.
which I think you can now play, and you can play in Stadium now.
No, it's in a third-person view.
Okay.
Yeah, which Stadium kind of kicked off the third-person view, but you can play it in third person, like Stadium, not in Stadium.
Not actually in Stadium. Okay, gotcha. But that's pretty cool. And here finally, Cory, September 2nd patch notes. Can you talk about them for like a minute or two instead of like we wake up and it's been 500 years?
Was there Heroes of the Storm? Was there Heroes of the Storm patch notes today?
Yeah.
There are new Heroes of the Storm patch notes today as we are recording this, and I added this to our list of topics just for you, Cory, because we need our regularly scheduled dose of hopium.
I can't believe it. That's what I love timing like that.
A big new Heroes of the Storm patch for September.
Yeah, let's look at this real quick. First up, if you fight underneath your forts, keeps, and core, you're going to have a little bit easier time of defending because they will grant you some extra armor. At least one of your people some armor and a little bit of slowing on it. So that means that it's a little harder to dive on your towers and such, and that'll make it a little easier to defend against like cheesy tactics, like loading up everybody in a medic dropship and dropping them on things. There's a lot of changes here to the map mechanics, so it looks like that they've done a big pass on balance and making sure that all the map mechanic itself doesn't take over the game, and that it's still kind of about the heroes, which is good, because some people would never play on certain maps just because they were like, oh, well, I don't like that mechanic at all.
You think it's possibly for consoles, maybe? Like, you think they're going to try and actually get it on consoles?
There's nothing in here that, as I'm scrolling through it, that looks like it's going to be anything that makes it easier to play on consoles. I think it's just a smoother experience across your play style, so that you're never going to have that kind of big swing moment where just because your team did really well on the one map, you can carry the game entirely. Or just because and then the next map you play, you don't have as much fun because your team is not doing as well. Because you don't have a giant Punisher from Diablo leaping over walls and chasing down next to the dead health heroes, which he can't do anymore. No more leaping over gates. Easier to kill all the little minions. Yeah, this is all like stuff to speed up your getting the mechanic, and then not make the mechanic so overwhelming. So there will be more mechanics to fight over in your maps, and they will be less of a big focal point. And if you miss one, it won't be the end of the world. That's what I'm seeing.
All right, that's cool. And again, we will point out that they technically they told us they stopped development on Heroes of the Storm 3 years ago.
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
It's been a long time since the world went insane. I have a hard time keeping track. But one last thing, because I saw this and I have to mention it. Team Asano, who if you don't know who they are, they made Octopath Traveler, and also Bravely Default, and Triangle Strategy. They're making apparently a Zelda-like called The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, and I hope that Elliot is not actually ever having adventures in this game, and it's just somebody else.
And it's done in that beautiful art style from Octopath Traveler 2. It's the 2.5D.
Yeah,
with all the
it
Zelda-like
actually looks like it's minis.
Expect. Yeah,
it actually looks like minis, but then you've got the little sprites.
Paper,
it is really cool.
Yeah,
you're gonna say Paper Mario? Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say it looks almost like the sprites are like on like a paper book background almost. Like
like if you ever printed out those figures back in the 90s, they used to like have like cardboard boxes with like you'd have the figure and you could like put it on a little stand, and that way you just had that, and you didn't. Yeah, it kind of does look like that. You're right.
But I wanted to put it in here just as a quick little note because I thought it was really cool. There is a demo available if you are a Switch owner right now. I believe it's a Switch 2 because of the way that it runs. So if you're lucky enough to have one, you can play that demo now, but it will be coming out for the PC as well. The demo is just not available quite yet. So if you're interested in Zelda-like games with that particular, Octopath art style, with a score that matches, and you sort of like the real-time ARPG stuff, might be something for you to keep an eye on. This one caught me by surprise, and I just wanted to throw it in there because I didn't know it existed until I saw it, and I was like, maybe other people will be interested in this. So there you go.
I can only say that Octopath Traveler, at least I haven't played 2 yet, but Octopath Traveler is one of the best JRPG type, like hardcore JRPG type role-playing games I've played in a long time.
And 2 is right there in there. Yeah.
I haven't gotten to play that one yet, but I really would like to. I will also say this isn't just coming to PC. It's also coming for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X/S.
Well, there you go. Makes sense.
Which means it's on everything. And that's pretty amazing because it means you'll have at least 2, if no 3. You'll have 3 mobile choices for this. The Switch 2, whatever PS has now, I know they've got like 1 million portable devices, and a new coming Xbox One.
There's a myriad of handhelds. So the fact that this is coming out in a handheld playable form is really neat because, I mean, as much as I have a wonderful gaming PC, I'm getting it on the Switch. Like, I want to take it with me.
Yeah, exactly. It's the kind of thing that you'd like to take with you. I mean, just the idea of these guys doing a game even remotely in Zelda's wheelhouse fills me with like a kind of longing. I would definitely want to see what Octopath Traveler, the people behind Octopath Traveler, do with this. So yeah, but I think that's going to have to do it. Oh, go ahead, Liz.
I want to add one last thing, which we'll probably talk more about next week, which is that while we were recording this podcast, Blizzard released about a dozen articles about midnight features.
Of course they did. It's Tuesday.
Literally, they were listening to us.
It's a real news blast. So if you want to catch up with what's going on with Midnight, all of the new features coming, you can go to worldofwarcraft.blizzard.com and read all of the articles they put out today. You can also go to blizzardwatch.com. I appreciate you if you do, and this may mean we have more new Midnight news to talk about next week. And if you can support us, because I don't think I mentioned this earlier, go to patreon.com/BlizzardWatch, where you can pitch in anything you can. It all helps. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Extra thanks to you, Blizzard, for once again stabbing me in the heart. Thank you. Seriously, it's like they know. It's like they have a camera. They have a camera in my office. That's the only thing.
They're recording the podcast. Let's release all of the news right now.
But this has been Blizzard Watch Podcast, guys. Thank you all so much for being here with us. Thank you to Cory for being our special guest this week. Thank you to Liz and Joe for just being special every week and keeping the show going. And that's it. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be back next week.
Bye, everybody.